battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Jets. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Come on, set. 60 out low. Silver. Check nickel.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
65. Watch Mike.
On 2nd down, here's Murray. He's got his running back, Darius Geis. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Mike 55. Right there in the middle. 55. 6 man. Check curls. Check 6. Mike 55.
Throwing on first down is Murray. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Mike, 55. 55, Mike. We own them. Mike,
To throw, it's Murray. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now Murray again. He can run for it, and he will. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. He'll get this to McCaffrey out of the backfield. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now Watson dancing to his left. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
This is Geis, and he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Geis with the carry on 2nd down. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
55's Mike, guys, 55. Here I come. Mike 55, Mike 55.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And able to find Dorsett. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a and he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Darius Geis, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Throwing on 2nd down. Watson. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Out of the gun, Watson steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
First down, Cincinnati.
What's right?
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Well, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Buying time to his left. He's got Evans. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. The first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. He'll throw out wide, complete to Sanders. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Antonio Callaway, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 29, Murray caught by Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a 6-yard loss on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Switch it. Even. 4th down. Even. Hey, check 24. Check 24. Slam.
On the ground, it's Geis. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays.
Check this. Go. Wide motion. Go.
Murray with a 3rd and long. Forced out to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker at its 4th. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. This is McCaffrey. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Back to throw, Watson. It's caught by Sanders. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And they're going to get the first down here as he's up to the 14. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
First down, Bengals.
This is it. 19. Here we go, dude. It's just me and you.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 13-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. That'll be complete to Cook. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Dancing to his left. Got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Faking the give. Now Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
19. Let's put him on the buses. Let's put the ass.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Cordray Tankersley on the stop defensively. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the return will stop him well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. The intended receiver there, Allen. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, Davis.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Now this time, Murray to throw it. Looking downfield for Jones. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. That pick, his 9th on the season.
Remember when we were kids and you were playing Little League Baseball? And they penciled you in the 9 spot in the order. That wasn't so good, was it?
Were you in the 9 hole?
Or you played the 9 position, right field. That wasn't so great.
That wasn't. You'd be picking dandelions out there.
Exactly.
But the 9 picks
you want that in a big way. That's a great season.
Heck of a season. Jatavis Brown there on the tackle. On 2nd and 9. Watson looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Boy, Keenan Allen couldn't pull that one in. And it's 3rd down.
But he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
The one with the dime look that time on defense just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And Bryant's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. You're down 3, under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. After the interception, here's Watson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Throwing on second and long. Watson being chased out left. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard.
Mike spot 9, Mike spot 9.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
It's now third down and less than a yard.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. He may try and run for this. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Now to try the field goal, here's Daniel Carlson. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Carlson is good. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Takes it the distance. No time remaining.
No cloth on the field.
Yeah, no flags, and it's a kickoff return to end the first half.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators. They sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Buying time, and that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 9th touchdown of the season. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And it's no good. No, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discuss.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Deontay Thompson. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Here's McCaffrey. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And now a long one for Matt Bryant. He's hit from 62 in his career, but that was all the way back in 2006. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
55 is mine, guys, 55.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 11 yards there, first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Pick up the ball. Switch. Hey, check 24. Watch the
On first down, this is Geis. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and a yard. at the Bengals 42.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Watch QB jump. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Switch, switch, switch. Shift, shift.
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
He's checking crap. Check, 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 check. Watch the safety creep. Check.
Now a run with Geis. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a jet shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
55. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Bang!
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. They get 11 back on that one. Leads to third down.
Vigil on the tackle.
Your trip is here, baby. Your trip is here.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Here I come. Here I come. Check. Check 43. Switch. Switch. Check. Hey. Hey, turn it up. Turn it up. Shift. Check. Lucky. Hey, watch it. Hatch it.
Again, they'll run it with Mostert. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down.
Check 13. Shift. Check. Watch twist. Hey, switch gears. Wait. Check. Back. Check.
They'll try and run for it. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. Tackled there by Alex Anzalone.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Flushed out right. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. That one covers 29 yards, first down. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. The last two plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. And this is caught inside the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Antonio Callaway with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. And the kick here, no good. But a penalty flag is down. Looks like he got run into. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that will shave one more off this lead. This will be taken short.
Let's go.
At their own 18-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. 1st down, Murray. He'll let this go end zone for Green. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Murray. He'll let this go end zone for Green. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Check, 55 to Mike. 55 to Mike. I know he ain't got it.
Shotgun now from Murray. And this is going to be hauled in. Oh, what a catch at the 10. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
We got 4. We got 1. Hey, Mike 52. That's it. 52. Check the out.
Murray to air it out again. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Philip Dorsett, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. Again, they'll throw with Murray. And he's going to get into the end zone for 2. And they're back within 2 scores. Down 15 now. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A big play there from McCaffrey. Give him 42 yards on the ground. They come out here in the I. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. Now it's Watson. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Let's just feel it at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 57 yards. Well, they had held him pretty well in check, but if you recall back in the first quarter, you said they needed to avoid the big play. He finally gets loose.
And the thing about it, it doesn't have to be a bunch of big plays. Sometimes one big play can be enough. That's why it's tough to deal with a guy like that.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Murray again, 2nd and 10. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Green once again the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10 at the 9-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
but they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, what was that all game? Or maybe he's just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, where was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel. Kill, kill, kill. Turn it up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn it up. Kill, kill, kill. Hurry, hurry. Check 52.
Here's Geis. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
The Jets on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Here we go. Check 55 to Mike. Check.
Throwing is Murray on third down. He's got his tight end, Oliver. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And now it's second down.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
To throw again, Murray. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Hey, 4 down.
Now Murray throwing on second down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Jets on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 11.
4 down. Watch 18, watch 18.
Play action. Now it's Murray. They'll roll him out right. He can run for it, and he will. The 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long. And somehow, he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
Yeah, if you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle him and get him on the ground short of the first down marker.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. Chris Jones on the stop. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Set, hut, 10, touchdown. Watch the pass. Quick the edge. Come. 6 guy. Check 6 guy. What? Watch twist.
Now a give. Right side, it's Geis. Now Geis stripped. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. Backed up now from their own 4 as they come up second down.
Double tight. 4 down. Alert.
And they will take a knee here.
Watson on the keeper. Almost a yard on the play. And it's third down.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
You're going to see me in your nightmares.
But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bengals, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll be off to Oakland next week for a date with the Raiders. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.